Ooh. This is wild. Hi, everyone. We'll let folks gather and come on in before we start. I'm CHISARAOKWU. I am the poet for tonight's programming. Can't wait. All right, we'll give folks a few minutes to join in. We are supposed to start at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. No, Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific. Ciao, Roberto. ¿Cómo estás? Ciao, Alma. Hi, Akua. So nice to see you guys. Thanks for being in the chat. How's it going out there? So we're going to start in 3 minutes. I would suggest, if you're listening wherever you are, to grab your favorite libation. It can be tea. It can be cafe, but not cappuccino, because I've lived in Italy. And I know you're not supposed to do that after the morning period. Your favorite alcoholic drink or equally attractive non-alcoholic beverage, whatever it is, go ahead and do you. We will start in approximately 3 minutes. In the meantime, feel free to hang out in the chat and do the comment thing. Look, y'all, I have never done Facebook Live. This is the first time. It's not like Zoom. So, it's not like I could hear what you guys are saying. Let's pretend this is like the TV or something, like I'm Rachel Maddow or Joy Reid on MSNBC or something like that, or whatever show y'all watch. So yeah, we'll do that. And I love cappuccino too, and oat milk. And Akua, I'm hearing you, I'm seeing you, because the oat milk though. Oat milk is everything, especially the Oatly brand, y'all. Check out the Oatly brand. It doesn't matter if it's the full fat, the half fat, the low fat, the no fat, whatever. They have done some magic to that oat milk. That is amazing. Anyway, that's what's what. All right, we'll start in 2 minutes. I am going to prepare myself. For those of you who are joining Poets in Pajamas for the first time, it's an amazing platform. Every 2 weeks, they feature another poet. They give and extend their platform to another poet, which is like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And it's just how it is with the poetry community. I don't feel like there's any sort of competition who's on the platform with you. There's just this generosity and this willingness to, allow people to share their hearts and their souls and their spirits. And I love that. I remember the first time I was in Italy, while I was living over there, my housemate, my roommate, her godfather is like this famous poet in Italy. And she was like, oh, you should go because you're a poet too. And I was like, okay. So we trekked down to Napoli, right? And he's having this, the event is all about him in Fraternelli bookstore. And we go downstairs into the basement. There's this huge crowd, everything. Like I said, he's a well-known poet, right? And he hears from his goddaughter that I'm a poet. And homeboy says, come up and read some poetry for us. I'm like, it's in English. It's not in Italian. He's like, it doesn't matter. You're a poet. Come up here. So I read a couple of my poems there in this Italian bookstore and was just like, I can't believe he just let me come on the stage. And he was like, it's his show. But it's that kind of generosity that I'm so grateful for. And Poets in Pajamas, Sundress Publications, thank you so much. It is 4 o'clock, y'all. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to get this show on the road, okay? Let me introduce myself first. My name is CHISARAOKWU. That's my first name. It means God answers prayer. And I am a poet, an actor, and a healthcare futurist. Well, we'll get into that later. I am thankful to Sundress Publications, Poets in Pajamas series, and to all of you who are in attendance now and maybe later for watching this episode, this time together in the land of poetry. So with that, I am going to get started with the first poem. And you know, just be open to however you feel. I'd love to hear your comments. There's some new stuff that's coming out here tonight, and some old stuff, some oldies but goodies. All right, let's get started. Oh, and feel free to write questions. There's a Q&A afterwards. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. After I do the reading, we'll open it up for questions and answers, a little bit of discussion. So feel free to type your question in the chat. And hopefully I'll get to it. Now that I figured out where the comments and questions are, I'll be able to see them. All right. And here's the show. Sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning, sweet, sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning, sweet in the morning. After the nighttime shootings come, sweet in the morning. After the nighttime shootings come, sweet in the morning. Every night I lay awake, sweet in the morning. They're trying to take every morning. After the nighttime shootings come, sweet in the morning. Mouths sky open, heaving tongues with the weight of morning. Good Lord, we berries of the land forced to ripen each morning, only to be smashed underfoot, buried while we undo vendettas every fucking morning. Did you know this chafing of dark skin comes new every morning? That each patch of our skin holds the bitter fruit of morning. Can you hear that sweet, sweet morning? Languishing morning wail from the girls whose bodies torn open don't get to morning peace. Someone hear that the ancestors are mourning. Their battle cry more to every precious warning. Come, sweet God, won't you carry us home this morning? This morning. Every single black woman alive I see is a miracle in mourning. How hard it must be to hashtag say her name every morning. Girl child of the Hamilton winds rise and break this morning's morning. So that is a guzzle for the colored girls. After Bobby McFerrin's rendition of Sweet in the Morning, if you have never heard his rendition of Sweet in the Morning, go and check it out right now. Well, not right now, after this. But a ghazal, obviously, for those of you who don't know, is an Arabic form of poetry. Very, very common in Iran, in Iraq, Pakistan, India. Beautiful. And it is considered a song. And I wanted to set the tone by centering us Black women, the Black femme experience in this world, because every time we want to express our joy, there is a way that society wants to tear us down. to try and make our morning into morning with a U. This was first published by Word Peace, the journal Word Peace, and I'm so grateful to them for putting this out into the stratosphere. Go ahead and take a look at the text. It's online on my website, www.CHISARAOKWU.com. So now that we have sort of opened it up with thanks to the ancestors, to those of us who have fought the good fight, the elders, my family, your family, all of you who are here, let's get into some more poetry. The next poem is called God Answers. And for those of you who weren't here before we started the broadcast, CHISARAOKWU is an Igbo name from the geographically known as Eastern region of Nigeria. And it means God answers prayer. And the next poem, which was first featured in Berkeley Poetry Review, is a bio poem, for lack of a better word, and hence the title of the poem being God Answers. So here it is. God answers. Child of boiling water and chicken feathers, leaping over spilt milk and hot metal pressing coils, and ultra sheen, smashed flat, stiff, long coifs, regulated by morning dew. Louisiana swamp, Louisiana bayou. Veined flesh basket of sound unheard in a house made of cobwebs and screams. On a drive named after Winston, whose accidental place in history is the space where bodies are pressed and folded into springy mattresses with cotton white sheets dotted with pink roses. Child, slick shine from Vaseline and Ori. Eyes, slick shine from two lips mashing, two hands cupping pink roses, drowning petals free. So I should say that when it comes to being a creative, the best thing you could do for yourself is to say it's okay to be whatever you are in that moment. Nothing needs to be perfect. Nothing even has to be good. Like we did a 30 for 30 challenge. Poets know every National Poetry Month in April, there's a 30 for 30 challenge. Write a poem every day. And I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to write a bad poem because I'm allowed to write a bad poem. If you've been wondering, can I be a poet? Can I be a writer? Can I be an actor? Can I be a singer? Or whatever it is that you want to be. Yes, you can. You don't need permission from me. But also, when you start on that journey, allow yourself to be imperfect in the process, because really, the journey is about the process. It's not even the destination. You got to find joy in the process. And you're not going to find joy if you're constantly telling yourself, man, that wasn't perfect enough. I should have hit that note that way. And I should have written that word that way. They might have loved me. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's your journey. And the world needs your art. So that's my plug for art. Let's continue. This poem, I wonder if there's a way I can also post this into the chat for you guys. The next poem is an ekphrastic poem. And an ekphrastic poem is, oh yes, I can. Look at that. An ekphrastic poem is a poem that is written or inspired by a specific word of art, right? Or piece of work of art, not word of art, but since we're talking words, yeah, work of art. And this particular poem is based off of a beautiful artist by the name of Fabiola Jean-Louis. She is a Haitian artist. You can find her on Instagram. I posted 2 of her links in the chat. And it is inspired by her 2016 installation, which included the figure and the photo, Madame Leroy. And you can see 2 aspects of Madame Leroy in the links that I provided in the comment section in the chat. The title of this poem is called Portrait of a Womb, and it's after this particular piece. So go ahead and take a look at it. Feel free to examine it as I read this poem. Portrait of a Womb. Where do we hide the things we cannot unsee? In the cataract of an eye? In the decaying muscle fibers of an infarcted heart? in a papier-mâché womb. Her womb is the portrait of an ocean-colored sky filled with our dead things. You ask, how does a woman hold a dead man in her womb? She wraps him in paper-thin gold with chains like metal keloids of ripped flesh fastened to her bosom so that he will not slip. His body hangs from her tree, his head lobbed to one side, bobbing like a brown-petaled flower, blooming. She drapes her soul in pearls. The allure of metal on black skin has hypnotized the observer and the observed for centuries. One might say such arrogance wears death with aplomb. One might claim the infamy is her own scarred womb turned window, like a eulogy praising death. One might wish she were saying that this is so we won't forget that within that dark pool of the soul, a world of dead men hang, fixed pretty in gold. So the next poem comes from my first book. I say first because I'm going to do more, I promise you. And it is called Evolution of a Saint. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's available on Amazon. It's poems written in my 20s and very early 30s that I finally got the nerve to publish and put out there in the world. This particular poem is called Siblings. And for those of you who have siblings, you know what that experience can be like. It's a short poem. I think it gets to the point. Here we go. Siblings. The ironic manifestation that coming from the same womb doesn't make you remotely similar, even if you wish it could. The inside jokes and outward laughter at what parents do to keep you in line. And when broken, the only shared experience, a name. When whole, the shared experience, life. So that's a shout out to my siblings. Hello, siblings. And then all my siblings by choice as well. My sister friends, my brother friends. Thank you all. The next poem for tonight, I'm looking at the time. I want to make sure that that I don't go over and I leave time for some questions and comments. The next poem. Oh, Lord, help me. This one always makes me laugh. It's called When I Come Back. And I'm just going to leave it at that. When I come back. When I come back, I want to be a woman in another language, another way to beauty without a man's tongue. I want my name unpronounceable by misogynists and pedophiles, and taste like honeysuckle and lilac to would-be lovers. I want my body to be an unbirthing, a reverse hysteria, where my nulliparous womb doesn't etch my epitaph. Let my uterus be worn across my torso like a satchel and be filled with fairy dust and apples that men with little hands eat then choke on. Let me be a who origamis herself into phoenixes and fires up whenever a cad tries her, sprinkles him with a little fairy dust so he can't mansplain his way out of ash and dust like Adam did. Told y'all. Every time I read it, it makes me laugh. I think it's the last two lines. So he can't mansplain his way out of ash and dust like Adam did. I'm being for real, y'all. If y'all subscribe to the Old Testament, like I think it's chapter 3 or chapter 4 of Genesis, like come on, y'all. For real? So that's where that comes from. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about a project that I've been working on for a while now. It's on the Biafran War. And like I mentioned earlier, my family is from Eastern Nigeria. The ethnic group the largest ethnic group in Eastern Nigeria is the Igbo. And the Biafra War, which is also known as the Nigerian Civil War, waged between 1967 and 1970, led to the genocide of, well, it's uncountable at this point, but somewhere between 1 and 3 million Igbos and other ethnic groups. through not only military warfare, but systematic starvation. And I have been interviewing people from various ethnic groups, including survivors in my family, about this war, how it impacted them, and also those of us who are the descendants of those individuals who experienced that war. So the next two poems are coming from those interviews. The first one is called When God Sat in Enugu, We Wondered Who We Were, Enugu State, Biafra, 1968. It was first published in About Place Journal, and there's a small little description before the poem begins to give a little background. Enugu became the seat of the Republic of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War. Radio Biafra, headquartered in Enugu, transmitted daily status updates from the war front to the people of Biafra. Radio Biafra, if you Google it now, has reemerged and has taken on a new sort of image or stance. It's reborn. As starvation and death overwhelmed the Republic, the voice of Radio Biafra became like that of God. When God sat in Enugu, we wondered who we were. 1. The stream that catches war's peculiar rainfall, or the spigot from where salt sprinkles the morning? The crack where groans seep into sky, or the spear of salvation? Or the Israelites hearing from the God cloud, claiming their promised land? Or skin-draped rubies strung from barbed wire trees? The groan clotting in God's throat while our fate clings to wiretaps? Did he barb wire trees to the sky to keep us from clinging? Is our blood the rainfall that puts God at ease? Are we just fetching him from the stream of our lives? 2. We seep into trees, into sky falling, keep our sear cries out of God's hearing, grown streams of barbed wire to catch the war falling, from the sky. God sits on rubies, hangs our fear out every morning. Barbed wire's a tree in the shape of a promise. We sip rubies from the stream every morning, and after hang throats out to dry. 3. Oh, Enugu sky, morning from where ruby salt falls, from where cloud-filled promises wander, finally, at ease, our salvation. The next poem is called The Things They Carried, which first appeared in War, Literature, and the Arts. The Things They Carried. In her brain's left pocket, she stuffs the image of a pregnant woman's belly, split open on the side of Aba Road, a bloodied cord dangling without a human anchor. She will try not to speak of this when she is asked what she remembered about that time. Instead, she will wrap those secrets in banana leaves and boil them until they congeal something hard and visible to throw away or eat. The warning that once formed in her mouth to protect her children now hangs in the back of her throat, like a mischievous child that can't gag its way out of the jungle gym. She remembers who showed the enemy their hiding place. She places her dreams of love and Egusi in her right brain next to a photo of home. She tilts her head to the left as if the question she is about to answer is too difficult to balance. If you see my people, she was told, tell them yesterday had too much to carry. Tell them not to eat what has not been wrapped and boiled for consumption. Tell them only that some of us had to relieve ourselves on the side of the road, our futures too heavy to hold. And gently let Mama know what her children have done to her children. Ooh, let's breathe. Yeah. I think because I'm seeing the time right now, I'm going to end with this one, a fun one, and then a toast. Okay. This one, I don't know where it's going to be published, but I call it The Other Side of the Universe, or Recollections of Love from a Late Bloomer. Y'all have fun with this. Come on now. We Tootsie rolled our way past Jolly Ranchers dressed in red licorice suits, kissing peppermint patties on candy cane tricycles, mouths covered in marshmallow cream. Our knees hitting handlebars with each sweet revolution. Down caramel rivers, schools of fish puckered their lips for a succulent kiss with mermaids turned princesses. There and always, a skittle rainbow scats through the jelly bean tunnel of my thighs. There and always there, lollipopped tongues sigh. Today's word is cohabitation. Mother snickers, her belief I am playing Battlestar Galactica in an Applejack's universe. How unsavory to be licked without a ring pop. He ain't no Mr. Goodbar, she chides. This is how you test a man's love. Spin cotton candy between your fingers and note whether he bites it with his teeth or takes a chunk of it with his hands. Papa did both and called Mama Almond Joy. Still, tests are the Brussels sprouts of childhood. Besides, Bay prefers the Laffy Taffy sticky sweet of my peach cobbler. He and I are like honey in a nosedive towards golden graham cracker palaces, snug between Orion's belt and the Big Dipper, feasting on fruit snacks from the Milky Way. Humans, you know, are so funky sometimes, so quick to forget that we once traded vanilla for Willy Wonka chocolate fantasies, made concessions so we could Butterfinger do what we do both now and later. We all play our own version of Candyland, y'all. Sugar coma bodies hidden against the bricks of every revolution. Sugar coma bodies, fun dipped in the pool of hard knocks, making payday. And we survive. So on that note, we're going to raise our, I hope y'all brought some libations. I did. Look at mine. It's an equally attractive non-alcoholic beverage. It's cranberry juice in a wine glass. Yes, I did that. The last poem is a golden shovel, and it is a toast. A golden shovel basically means that I found some words on the internet, and I decided to make the last word of every line from that particular thing I found. And in this case, it was the New York Times article by Kenneth Chang that is titled, Note to Future Space Travelers, Prepare for a Shrinking Heart. We started off with the Gazelle for Colored Girls. We gonna end reminding folks that we still here. So the toast. On that note, let us all give toast to that Sibylline future, that hip, eternal, sapphire, and gifted space, where we roam our multiverse as unbothered time travelers. What comes next is nothing we must prepare for. We already exist in the future we watch out for. So arise. Raise your glasses a little higher. Whiteness is shrinking. Take heart, O ye cosmonauts. Take heart. Thank you guys. That's it. We are let's have some questions. Let's gab for the few minutes that we got left. Y'all. So thank you. I'm going to drink some of this now. Oh wait, that's not cranberry juice. Okay. So be it. Oh. Aku, I see a question. You were asking if I do breath work. Yes, and yes, and yes. First introduced to real breath work in conservatory where I studied acting for 2 years in New York. And then also incorporate what I've learned doing yoga in my yoga practice that helps with that. It has changed my life. I mean, as a singer, you already learn a little bit about breath work, but this took it to a whole nother level, especially when you're thinking about theater and being on stage and being able to let your voice carry, even if you don't have a microphone, right? Regardless of the size of the room. So, good pickup. All right, let me see. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you. Wow. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. I love it. Look. Oh, hi, Veronica. Hi, Khalil. What? Oh my gosh. People are here. Cameron. Woohoo. Oh, Danny, is that you? Wow. Okay. Let me stop. Okay. I feel so loved. Oh my gosh. And so joyful. Thank you all. Let me say this before I answer the next question that I see. My website is CHISARAOKWU.com. I think it's already been put in the chat. Go and check it out. Something that really brings me joy these days is my Joy Well newsletter, which is all about how we celebrate our joy and live our joy unapologetically. So definitely take a look, reach out that way. Follow me on Twitter. Y'all can find me there. There's all of that. There's all of that. I think I saw a question. What are you reading lately? Oh, I'm reading a lot lately. Okay, I've got N.K. Jemisin on my nightstand right now. N.K. Jemisin is a fantasy writer, fantasy sci-fi writer, and she's really good. She's got very long books, but really interesting worlds that she creates. I've been reading poetry. There is a poetry book called Is it Moving On? It's a June Jordan reader. And it's like this thick, but it is amazing. Oh my gosh. It's like she is a poet, a playwright. She's doing all the things, or was. She's now one of our ancestors. But at the same time, it's an amazing book. I'm reading poetry. I'm reading nonfiction. It's a hodgepodge. That's totally what I'm reading. Let me see. We got 3 minutes. So let me see if there's. Do you write in the middle of the night when a thought strikes you? Oh, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. That is a good question. Yes, says the person with 6 moleskins that are this tiny in the nightstand next to her bed, and then 2 journals on the top, so I don't have to pull out the drawer to get to those moleskins, and then 5 pens literally next to my lamp. So yes, the short answer is yes, I do. Some nights I don't. I don't know. Some of y'all may be those kinds who have vivid dreams like I do. And they'll wake me up in the middle of the night. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'll remember that later. I'll remember that late. No, you don't. You never do. It's something completely different. And then it just goes into the ether. But for the most part, yeah, I do have that next to my nightstand. Yep. What inspires you to write? Thank you, Amma, for that question. Woo! Everything. Everything. That's such a great question. It's like a movie can inspire me to write. Look, there's this amazing songwriter, artist, and he's so complicated and says the most foolish things sometimes, and and his name is Kanye West. Yeah. He just came out. He just dropped his album Donda. And I heard the song that Jay-Z had a verse in. And Jay-Z's verse is fire. But one line stuck out to me, and you're asking what inspires you to write. He wrote, "Made in the image of God, that's a selfie." Y'all, I was like, wait, I don't think I've heard that anywhere. I don't think I've read it. I don't know what I see, but I heard that line. That line stuck out to me, and I was like, I'm inspired. Not even to just write, but to remember that all these labels and these ideas of what people have of us is not it. We are bigger than that. And that's a selfie. So that's what inspires me to write. Y'all, that's it. It is 4:30. It has been wonderful being with all of you. Thank you to Sundress Publications, Poets in Pajamas series, to the ancestors, to the elders, to all of you who came out to watch and to listen. Y'all be well, live joy, remember joy, and just be joy in your lives. Ciao. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to turn this off. Bye.